Hello, AdmiralThrawn here. I'm recording the second battle of the Third Age Total War tournament that I'm currently helping to organize on the Total War Center forums. This is the first round, second game. It's a best of three series. I am again playing Discord 1996. My previous game, you can find the link below in the description. I won that game. I was playing as Isenguard, he was playing as the Sylvan Elves, but it was really, really close. So here, he chose to play as Isenguard, and I decided to counter that by going with the Free Peoples of Eriador, but late period, so they get honor units as well. My army is heavy on the archers. I've got a bunch of Dunedain Rangers, a bunch of Arnor heavy archers, and then a bunch of heavy infantry. No spearmen, actually. I assumed that he would either not bring cav or the cav would be wargs and they would suck. So instead I just went with all swordsmen in the hopes that I can outmaneuver his pikemen and basically attack him from the flanks. I'm pretty good at micromanaging, so I went with that. I did go with a lot of missile cav. Well, the rules are maximum of 2 missile cavalry, so I brought the maximum. They're all Grey Company, which are really, really good. They're basically mounted longbowmen, which doesn't really work like mechanically, but it's Lord of the Rings, it doesn't matter. And then a bunch of heavy cavalry, including some Arnorian Knights, Dunedain Knights, Knights of Numinos. These guys here are really, really good. He went with a bunch of Uruk-hai archers, and basically went with a 3-line thing, with his archers in front, his pikemen next, and his infantry after that, though they sort of all get meshed together. He actually brought a lot of wargs, which I'd say was a big mistake on his part. Wargs are not very good in this version of the game. In fact, they were really, really bad, actually. So they were pretty easy to wipe out, especially seeing as my Grey Company is really, really good at just skirmishing them and just crushing them. He also brought a lot of heavy infantry, like those Uruk-hai Reavers. They're pretty good, though I was able to outskirmish them with my cavalry. Here's the cav fights brewing up. I was able to outmaneuver his wargs, go in there for the charge with my knights, and get for the flank, and just boom, just crushed right into them. I mean, this is some damage, but really, though, I'm mostly holding them in place while my Grey Company does all the damage. These guys here are just badass. But anyways, though, so while that's happening, he is moving against me here, against my archers. My archers are just wiping out his troops here and all, doing a lot of damage. He already killed like 13% of them. I mean, like, basically with evil factions, you're going to lose a 10th of your army at least while in the charge, so basically you have to hope you have enough troops left over after that. But anyways, though, he gets close to me. Fortunately, my heavy infantry is really, really good, so I was able to hold off reasonably well. Just pull all my archers back. Here on this side, the cavalry fight, I'm basically winning. I sort of pulled my troops back because he brought in his Uruk Reavers to try and stop me. And whoa, that dude is floating. Is it Superman? Dead Superman? Oh, whatever it is. I was able to basically just sort of pull back and skirmish them with my Grey Company, just to wipe them out. I mean, his guys are just dropping like flies here. You can see all the dead wargs over there. Just, yeah, so this here is a slaughter. And meanwhile, he's engaged my main line, and basically the whole line of battle sort of more or less breaks down. I mean, we've got troops sort of everywhere. I do start pulling my troops back from his pikemen just to not engage them from the front, because engaging pikemen in the front is kind of terrible. But so, yeah, I still have a lot of troops here. These are some battle-ready Dunedain, and I have a lot of archers left, so my archers keep wiping them out. And plus my dismounted Dunedain Knights are really, really good, so they just wipe out his troops. And so basically what I'm counting on here is being able to micromanage. Like, see here, I pulled back my troops away from his pikemen, because they can't really pursue me, because they're pikemen, they're really slow. And so I'm able to engage the squishy troops I can't hit, and then try and go around the flanks. So by now his wargs are all dead, and so I'm able to start using my cavalry to try and micromanage and start hitting him from the flanks and the rear and stuff, and I still have some archers, some arrows left with my Grey Company, so they're doing a lot of damage. And basically, so by now the lines of battle are breaking down, and things are basically swinging in my favor, just because I'm able to start outmaneuvering his pikemen formations. He did leave behind a lot of troops, actually. Like, I'm sort of surprised. He was afraid that I would attack his archers like I did here, so he left behind a whole bunch of troops. But I would say this was probably unwise on his part, because these here, this gave me time to actually shoot his berserkers with arrows. And on top of that, these guys are not very good anti-cavalry, so I would say he probably should have just committed all of his berserkers and stuff to the fight immediately, instead of holding them back. Besides, I mean, Urukai crossbowmen are good, but they can generally take care of themselves, and Urukai archers, they just plain old suck, so you can ignore them. Like, yeah, these guys here are sort of left back. I mean, on the whole, I mean, he did a good job micromanaging, but it's easy enough to outmaneuver pikemen, so here I'm able to just crush into them, just crunch, kill a ton of them. Though, as I said before, crossbowmen can hold out for themselves. But basically, just all around the battlefield here, I'm winning the fights. I'm just pulling back where I want to. These guys here are around, but basically I'm just pulling back when I need to. Otherwise, like attacking the flanks. This here is actually me forgetting to do something. He had some wargs here, his few remaining wargs attacking my Dunedain Rangers, and I have my knights right here that I forgot to send into the fight. But my Rangers are also pretty good too, so they're actually doing okay against the wars. And one thing that I found about Medieval 2, especially 3rd Age, is the infantry are really, really good. They can hold off against cavalry, even archers. So yeah, I do attack his cav here, but and I do some decent damage because the Urukai archers are kind of light. But he still has a lot of troops back here. But basically what happened was I just broke down the order of battle. And when that happened, it basically made most of his pikemen not useless, but very difficult to use. And it basically meant that my heavier infantry was able to win the day, more or less. I'm able to rear charge here with my cavalry, and he's going for my archers, but it's sort of a fruitless attempt and all. I can just run away. And they just turn around to try and attack them. And I've lost half my army here, but he's lost 3/4 of his army. So basically, yeah, the balance of power board thing says it's an even match, but basically, by now I've pretty much won. I've lost most of my heavy infantry, but he has lost most of his, and I still have my cavalry, and on top of that, my archers are actually decent enough that they can hold off. And so I'm just basically charging in here. These guys here get really slow whenever they're tired, but I mean, that's sort of normal. I'm loving the giant... Are those ears? Like, those... looks like there's ear guards for the horses, though. It seems kind of pointless, but, I mean, who knows. I guess it works. Yeah, so I'm able to crunch in on those Urukai pikemen and berserkers. They're all still fighting pretty well. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't break, but, I mean... Isenguard has tough units. They're hard to break. But just basically, yeah, so I'm holding his troops in place and slaughtering them with my archers. These pikemen here are just getting wiped out, and on top of that, his archers are pretty depleted as well, just because I kept attacking with my cavalry. I think there's a couple guys here left. Yeah, I'm like, what's that? It's a cool banner. I haven't seen this banner before. It's actually pretty cool. I think, is that the flag? I'm not sure which flag that is. It's one of those Arnorian kingdoms. I'm not a huge expert on Middle-earth lore. I know about, like, Rudar, Carladon, Arthane, so I guess that makes me kind of a nerd for that. But yeah, I mean, it's a Lord of the Rings mod. But basically, the 3 Arnorian kingdoms, and one of them turned evil, one of them got destroyed, and then the other got destroyed, and they all died. But basically, these here are the remnants of those guys. And so I'm attacking, basically his forces are more or less wiped out. He still has a couple of troops left here that he's trying to make a last stand with, which I respect. I mean, you gotta fight till the end. But by now it's basically pretty much over. I mean, like, just because my archers can just run away, I have enough of them left, and I have enough cavalry left. Like, really the big thing here is my cavalry remained intact. Like, I still have 30 of my heavy cavalry, other cavalry units. I've still got a ton of cavalry back here just wiping out his archers. Like, I've got, still have some Grey Company left. I mean, these guys generally die as soon as they start fighting melee, but they held out, and I've got a lot of them. And so basically, just this is pretty much the end of it. I still have a lot of dismounted Dunedain Knights, crush his rear, and basically it's around this time that he surrenders. I mean, yeah. Yeah, he surrendered. But still, great game to my opponent. He did a great job. So this means that I advance through the first round of the tournament and go on to the second round, which should be played sometime soon-ish, probably the next week, hopefully the next few days, though we're having some issues of getting people together to play. If you're at all interested in playing 3rd Age Total War tournaments, go to the Total War Center thread. We're going to need substitute players, and we're going to need players for the next round, or the next tournament, which should happen hopefully in the next month or so. Yeah, really, I just discovered this recently, and it's an awesome mod, so come out and join us. Alright, signing off.